Hi guys, and welcome to my kitchen. So today I'm going to be making a spicy lentil stew, and I'm going to show you guys how to make it. And to make it, you're going to need a bag of lentils. This is a 16-ounce package of lentils, green lentils. You're going to need some kind of smoked meat of your choice. Over here I have a smoked turkey drumstick. I usually like to use smoked turkey necks or the smoked turkey tails because they're a little bit easier to control when you're cooking for a smaller batch. I have a product of one chayote squash with the one Scotch bonnet pepper. I have some squash in this bowl and some yellow plantain. The plantain has to be yellow. It can't be too ripe or else it might, just mash up in the soup. And here we have some pink malanga. They also call it kikisque in some countries, or taro root. I have about 2 tablespoons of my green seasoning here, 1 Maggi cube, some sazon with culantro and achote. I actually made this myself. I have about 3 tablespoons of oil and 2 tablespoons of tomato sauce. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna boil the lentils with the smoked turkey leg. And before that, I have a pot heating up here on the stove. We're just gonna give a little bit of a quick fry to the smoked turkey drumstick, and then we're gonna add the water and the lentils, and I will show you guys what that looks like. That the pan is nice and hot, we're gonna go ahead and add the oil, and then we're gonna follow that up with the leg. Now what I did here was that I cut it up into little pieces, that way I can, enjoy it with the rest of the lentil stew that I'm gonna get, and you're just gonna add that into the pan. I'm gonna go ahead and fry that up until it's a little bit golden around the edges. And I'll be back and I'm gonna show you guys what that looks like. Alright guys, so after about 7 or 8 minutes of this frying, you guys can see that the chopped up turkey beef got a little bit of color to them. And now we're gonna add our seasoning. So we're gonna go ahead and add our green seasoning to the pot. I want you guys to be a little bit careful. It's gonna splatter a little bit. Here we have our bouillon cube and our sazon. We'll dump that in there. And we're gonna go ahead and stir this up a bit until you mash that chicken bouillon in there. And we'll let that fry a little bit. Smell this. The smell is absolutely delicious. So after about 30 seconds, here I have my lentils, which I already washed while the meat was frying. I'm gonna add those in there. To combine. You guys can totally make this same recipe with pigeon peas or with regular red beans. And now we're gonna go ahead and add our water. I'm gonna go ahead and add enough water just to cover the lentils in about maybe like 2 inches worth of water. And we're gonna go ahead and let these boil and cook. I'm gonna put a lid over them, and I'm gonna have the heat around moderate high, and I will get back to you guys and tell you for how long they cooked here. All right guys, so it's been about 20 minutes now, and as you guys can see, it was actually boiling not too long ago, but I did have to come back and add a little bit more water because the lentils, you know, as they cook, they begin to expand a little bit. So right now we're gonna go ahead and take the chance to pop in our Scotch bonnet pepper. And we're gonna add in our 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I'm gonna go ahead and give that a light stir, just to help the tomato paste out a little bit. If you guys can't get it to dissolve fully, that's fine. As the soup boils, it's gonna go ahead and dissolve. It's gonna go ahead and dissolve by itself. And that is all for now. And I will come back. I'm gonna put the lid on. I'm gonna come back when the lentils are ready so I can add the rest of the vegetables. All right, so it's been about 35 minutes since I first put the lentils to boil. And now we're gonna go ahead and add our chayote squash and the rest of our vegetables, only holding back on the yellow plantain, because if you add the yellow plantain right now, by the time everything else is done cooking, it's gonna be a mush. I'm gonna go ahead and add our pumpkin or our squash, whichever one you have on hand. And we're gonna finish off with our malanga. We're gonna let that come to a boil, and then I'm gonna lower the heat, and I'm gonna get back to you guys when all this is finished and before I add our yellow plantain. All right, guys, so it's been about 25 or 30 minutes since I added the vegetables, and now we're just gonna go ahead and add our yellow plantain to the pot. As you can see, I had to take some of it out because I had way too much stew for this pot. I'm sorry. So we're gonna go ahead and add our plantain. And we're gonna go ahead and turn the heat down to about a medium low. We're gonna cover this, and we're gonna let it cook for around 10 to 15 minutes until the plantain is nice and tender, and then after that it's ready to serve, and I will show you guys how that looks like. Okay, so after about 20 minutes after adding the plantain, our stew is ready. As you can see, the plantain is nice and soft and cooked. The chayote squash is cooked. Everything is just cooked in here, and I'm gonna go ahead and serve myself a little bit so you guys can see. Let's get a little bit more vegetables in here. You guys can definitely make this a vegan dish by omitting the turkey, and you guys can replace it with some other vegetables as well. You can add yuca. You can make this with potatoes and carrots, which is what I do sometimes, especially during the holiday season. And there you go. That's how you make a lentil stew. And if you really like it spicy, you can go ahead and add the Scotch bonnet pepper and bust it up in your bowl if you like it nice and spicy. And that is it.